Hello everyone, it's Leah from Dime Culture, and today I'll be showing you how to make some fun and simple to do bookmarks. What you'll need for your supplies are going to be some paper. I'm going to be using some Bristel paper and some watercolor paper because today I'm going to be showing you two different ways you can make your bookmarks. The key here for the paper, everyone, is that you want something that is stiff enough that it won't bend. Alright, next you're going to need some washi tape. It's going to be really fun. These are the colors I picked. Next is embroidery thread so that we can have some tassels. And then the next item I'm going to suggest having is either washi tape or scotch tape or masking tape, any kind of tape just to protect your edges, a pencil or pen, scissors, and the next one is a hole punch. I have an individual, you can use any kind. And last, for these small items that you're going to need is a ruler because we're going to measure some stuff out and draw some lines. Now, because I'm doing one that's with watercolor, I'm grabbing my watercolor pan set. You can use whichever colors or any kind of paint that you want to use. I'm just using my watercolor because I want some flow. The first one I'll be showing you is how you can use your watercolors or gouache to create your personalized bookmark. Once you've measured and cut to your liking, make sure you tape it down. If you aren't sure how long to make your bookmark, grab whichever book you are currently reading or working in and use your ruler to measure. I like to make my bookmarks in two different sizes, one for my longer, aka 8x10 styled books, and one for my 5x8 size books. Even though this DIY isn't a large painting, test out your color combos. I'm making a clouded galaxy painting for my bookmark, and I want to make sure that those colors blend into each other and make equally beautiful colors, so I'm swatching them out. Galaxies are fun and easy to make. I've always been a little obsessed with flowers, and my Instagram feed is proof of that. However, I'm also obsessed with Guardians of the Galaxy, so adding a little galaxy accents into my day brings joy to my life. I'm also a huge Marvels nerd, and it pains me to say that I have not yet seen Infinity Wars yet. So, shh, say nothing. I will be seeing it, I just can't bring myself to sob in a movie theater. Anywho, bookmarks are one of those stationery items that other people don't really see. So make your bookmark in a design you'll love, because you're the one that's going to be popping it in, taking it out, and using it daily. One thing to note, if you are going to be doing the next stage just like me, watercolor paper isn't really designed to be painted on both sides. So your paper may not absorb the paint in the same way. If your paper is 140 pounds, 300 GSM type paper weight, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. However, if your paper is thinner, one workaround is to paint two separate papers and then stick them together using glue or double-sided tape. I'm using cold press paper, so both front and back aren't too different in texture-wise. They're both smooth. I just found that the back side didn't really absorb the color in the same way, so it dried a little differently. However, with it being a galaxy painting, it's not really that noticeable. I also want to point out how I painted mine slightly different. So I have a thin border on the front and a thick border on the back. I did this just aesthetic-wise. I thought it'd be interesting to have two different sides. You can do yours identical, different, make it whichever way you want it to look. Remember, this is your personalized bookmark. Make it for you and make it fun and just enjoy your making process. Man, I keep saying the word making in this sentence. When you're making your tassel, just use your fingers to wrap it around. Keep track of how many times you do wrap around your fingers because you want each tassel to be the same thickness. On mine, I'm making 2 tassel ends. I've made 3 and 4 in the past, so you do as many as you want. You don't have to have 2 or 3. You could have 1. If you run into the same issue I did, that the strings just don't fit through the hole, use washi tape. Just wrap it around the edge and then thread it through the hole. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alrighty. So at this stage, I'm now going to tie off my tassel. So then that way it actually is a tassel. So I'm going to measure out and loosely measure out. You don't have to actually measure with your ruler. Just guesstimate is what I did. How much thread you're going to need to wrap it around and knot it. In order to get that tassel look, once you've done your first initial knot to tie that string onto the ends of the tassel, wrap it around a few times to give it some decorative wrapping. And then once you've wrapped it to your liking, as thick as you'd like it to go, that's when you want to tie it off and knot it to a point that it won't fall off. Now, just doing a basic knot works. Just make sure you pull and hold tight and you are good to go. Because it's not like this is an item that's going to be pulled a lot. It literally sits and sticks outside of your book and just, waves and shakes around a bit. It's good. Tie a knot. Do it once, twice, 3 times, however many times you feel comfortable, but it doesn't need to be anything fancy. I like using bookmarks for so many different reasons. One of them is that I hate it when books get their pages folded over to save a spot. When I'm ready to finish reading for the day, I could never tab over a page to save my spot. I need to use a bookmark. Another good use, and I do this, is to slide a bookmark into your sketchbook. I may have written down an idea that I want to be able to reference back to, and again, I'm not going to tab that page over, so I'm going to put a bookmark in there so I know exactly where in my sketchbook it is. Oh, also, I find it really handy to use bookmarks in a day planner. If you have an important day/week coming up, it's really handy to see it coming. At least I find it really handy to have those tassels just sitting there on my desk staring at me. And as I pass the weeks by, it gets closer and closer to the top. Super handy to know that it's coming. Plus, bookmarks are decorative and super pretty to have when you're walking around with your book in your hand and they're just flailing around, adding some flair. Ugh, I love bookmarks. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I love bookmarks. As you can see, the second simple and easy bookmark design is by using washi tape. And I'm using the washi tape that I had shown you earlier on in the video. What I love about using washi tape is how it comes in so many different colors, designs, and variations. Pick out your favorite colors and just lay them down onto the paper. For this version of the bookmark, I'm using Bristel paper. If you don't have Bristel paper, that's totally okay. Use whatever paper that you have that is thick enough so that it doesn't bend. I'm using the Bristel paper just because I didn't want to waste my watercolor paper. I'm laying mine out in a very simple and easy way. I like to call it my Neapolitan ice cream theory. See, you just take 3 colors, you lay them out next to each other, and so long as those colors are harmonious with each other, it will always leave a calming and beautiful, elegant design. So even though my colors aren't chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla, the theory still applies. While filming the making of these bookmarks, I was completely oblivious to how stained my desk has become. But now that I am staring at this video, editing it all day, that's all I can see are the stains. And now that I've pointed out that to you, that's all you're going to see are the stains. Great. Smart move, Leah. Anyways, once the tape has been laid down, if you need to do any trimming, obviously trim it off and make it nice and tidy. Now, I did film this bookmark being made prior to the watercolor one, so as you can see, my embroidery thread is just being used now. For this version of the bookmark, I am making a one tassel that's going to be attached by a string. So it's one of those hanging tassels. And here I am making it so that my tassel itself is a lot larger and thicker than the ones you saw earlier. I apologize for my hand coming out of frame. I struggled a little because I had it all tangled. Learn from my mistakes. If you're going to use more than one thread, try not to have it so tangled when you're tying it all around. I used a pencil here to make sure that the actual inside loop of the tassel stayed intact while I did other things, and I found it really handy. I did, however, take it out before finishing the tying off process, and that was a mistake. So leave it in there, and once you're done tying it and knotting it and making it safe so that the tassel won't fall apart, keep the pencil in. Because at the next stage, what I'm going to show you is how I am going to attach it to the bookmark. And how I'm going to do that is by braiding the attachment. But I need to get the thread through the loop top part of the tassel, like that looped part. And it's a little difficult because I made a really thick one. But honestly, guys, just keep your pencil in there or your pen or whichever item you're using, and then just thread it in like I did right here. It's super easy once that's done. I only had a small difficulty with it because I prematurely took the pencil out. All right. So basically, now that it's done, I'm doing a basic braid. I'm just pairing up my colors and I'm going to braid it. You can do anything here. You can not do that like a staircase knot. Do whatever one you want. I like braids. Very simple, very basic, very soft. I like the braids for it because also if you end up using the smaller version of this bookmark here, in a larger book, the braid doesn't become too obtrusive if it's sticking in to the paper. It's flat. But yeah, again, like I said multiple times because I just keep saying that, do it your way. Make this your bookmark. And then once you're done making it as long as you'd like your threading to be, just tie it off onto in through the hole. This is the part where you don't want to make a knot too big, so only knot it once or twice. And then separate some of your strings. Oh, my mom called me while I was doing this. We were having a super hot, abnormally weird hot day for a spring day, and she was calling to complain of how hot it was. Yep, that's a mom for you. Anyways, yeah, just tie it on. Do 2 knots because you don't need it to be too bad, but then separate the string and tie a 3rd knot. And there you go. You have a bookmark. Ta-da! And look how great it looks in the book. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy making your bookmarks. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. And please, if you're really into having some creative magic in your life, subscribe to Dime Culture, and every week you'll be getting a new video. All right, stay magical, everyone.